What's up with it, y'all? Polo Sports Talking Entertainment here again with another one. Be sure to hit that like button, sub to the channel if you're not a member, and also hit the notification so that you're able to get all of my content and all of my videos. Look, last night in the win uh, with the Denver Nuggets over the Houston Rockets 116 to 101, it was a historic night, monster night rather, for DeMarcus Cousins as DeMarcus Cousins records his first 30-point game in 4 years as a fill-in starter. And as you know, Joker wasn't playing. Look, man, I'm happy for this guy, man. You know, DeMarcus Cousins, man, has experienced a lot of adversity, man. For those of you out that are too young to remember, DeMarcus Cousins was considered the top big man in the league at one time. And that was when he in his young days in Sacramento. Now look, I'm gonna be real with you. I wasn't a fan of DeMarcus Cousins. I kind of it from a basketball standpoint. He was decent, of course, and was a monster and everything. But his attitude, sometimes I think was his downfall. And I think that him being humbled a little bit because of the injuries and everything, he has been able to go through a maturation process that many NBA players and many athletes have to go to. Look, he's not perfect. Neither was Rasheed Wallace. Neither was Dennis Rodman. Uh, neither was Vernon Maxwell. Some of the guys that used to do antics on the court and stuff like that. But nevertheless, DeMarcus Cousins, he grew on me, and I began to watch him more and appreciate him more, especially when he went to New Orleans and was able to make an impact with Anthony Davis. Now, before I get to that though, in just 23 minutes of play, Cousins was able to put up 31 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists and 3 steals, sort of like what he used to do when he was against Sacramento. Now, I know some people are going to say, well, it was against the Houston Rockets. Look, an NBA team is an NBA team, and on anybody's best day, they can get got. And the fact that he did it against the young guys that are in Houston that are hungry, that are still learning stuff like that, it's impressive. It's very impressive. And on top of that, I think it felt good because he was able to do it against a team that he had previously played for and had some problems with. When you talk about, Coach Silas and everything, so I'm just happy for DeMarcus Cousins. I hope he keeps it up. Him signing with Denver, I think was a slept on move by a lot of people besides the addition to White in Boston. You know, Also, I think that when I'm speaking of the maturation process, DeMarcus Cousins has been able to help players that you might not think. He was able to be sort of a a mentor in a situation when it came to Draymond Green and Kevin Durant. He was the one that was actually trying to calm the situation down between them and everything. Like much like when players go through something, you got to have that 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 peacemaker. You know what I'm saying? And that's what DeMarcus Cousins was able to do. And there's been situations where things were about to escalate, and guess who stepped in? DeMarcus Cousins. When back in the days, DeMarcus Cousins, they looked at him as the shit starter. You know, and in some situations, I felt it was unfair. He would get a lot of technical fouls and stuff like that. But like I said, that comes with youth, that comes with time, that comes with experience, and like I said, maturation. Now, going forward though, now I think that they need to understand that DeMarcus Cousins, he could do this, consistently. Now, every game ain't gonna be 31 points or 25 points or anything like that. That's not gonna happen, and unless, of course, something magically takes place, with his body or something like that. We can't expect DeMarcus Cousins to put 30 up on a consistent basis. But I think the key thing going forward is that Joker can actually benefit from playing with a guy like a DeMarcus Cousins, because Joker, in my opinion, he's the most skilled big man in the league in terms of impact. Yes, I said it. He's the most skilled. Doesn't necessarily mean he's the most talented, but I think he's the most skilled in terms and most versatile, especially when you consider the passing and the rebounds and stuff like that. I know everybody thinks that Joel Embiid, is the top level MVP and all this other stuff, but Jokic has been constantly going through players, constantly going through hurt players, and having to deal with hurt players rather, and has been doing more with less. And I always look at that as a factor. So my final point, man, I think that Jokic again will benefit from playing with a guy like DeMarcus Cousins. He'll be able to pick his brain, be able to utilize some of the aspects that of the game that DeMarcus Cousins might have in his repertoire that Jokic might not have. He's a 7 footer, and more importantly, I don't think people understand how hard of a worker and dedicated Jokic is. Jokic is a very hard worker, man. I've looked at him, outside of basketball when as it pertains to what he does to prepare and stuff. This guy, man, is a force, when it comes to dedication and trying to make his team better and stuff. But now that they got DeMarcus Cousins at this stage of his career, he can actually benefit, and that's what I was telling people about him when he was in Milwaukee, mainly Milwaukee though. And I think that Milwaukee letting him go, I think it motivated him, because they're like, you cut me loose, because he possibly could have had a chance, to get a ring with them, but they chose to go with Greg Monroe and Serge Ibaka and them guys, and they got the win last night and everything. But I still feel like they should have kept Boogie Cousins. Um, but we'll see going forward what happens. This was a monumental night, in some people's eyes, and some people's eyes it might not be. But look, I'm riding for Boogie, man. I hope he continues and keeps it up, and I hope they see much success. But again, y'all tell me what you think. Leave your comments, like the video, share it, subscribe, hit the notifications. Tell them, man, Polo Sports Talking Entertainment. I'll get at you later.